The inspiring story of Richard Williams and his daughters Venus and Serena, who become professional tennis players. Richard Williams lives in Compton, California, with his wife Brandy, his 3 stepdaughters, and his 2 daughters, Venus and Serena. Richard aspires to turn Venus and Serena into professional tennis players. He has prepared a plan for success since before they were born. Richard and Brandy coach Venus and Serena on a daily basis, while also working as a security guard and a nurse, respectively. Richard works tirelessly to find a professional coach for the girls, creating brochures and videotapes to advertise their skills, but has not had success. One day, Richard takes the girls to see Coach Paul Cohen, who is in the middle of practicing with John McEnroe and Pete Sampras. Despite his initial reservations, he agrees to watch the girls practice and is impressed. However, the Williamses cannot afford professional coaching, and Paul refuses to coach both girls for free. He selects Venus to receive his coaching, while Serena continues to practice with Brandy. Paul encourages Venus to participate in juniors tournaments. She quickly finds success, but Richard stresses to Venus and her sisters that they should remain humble despite their success. At one of Venus's tournaments, Serena also signs up to play, unbeknownst to Richard. As both girls continue to succeed, the family are treated as outsiders among the predominantly white, upper-class competition. Richard meets with high-profile agents, but fearing that his daughters will be taken advantage of, pulls them out of the junior circuit entirely. Paul warns him that his decision will destroy the girls' chances to turn pro, but Richard stands firm, firing Paul as a coach. Hit like if you are proud of Richard's tenacity. Coach Rick Macci travels to California to see the girls play. Impressed, he takes the girls on, and the family relocates to Florida to train at his facility. Richard surprises Rick by reiterating that the girls will not play juniors, instead training and attending school like normal little girls. In the ensuing 3 years, questions arise from the media and from Rick about Richard's strategy with the girls and his desire for media exposure. Venus tells Rick that she wants to turn pro. Richard reluctantly agrees, but later reneges, worrying that she will suffer a similar fate to Rick's pupil Jennifer Capriati, who is allegedly suffering from burnout and has been arrested for drug possession. The decision strains Richard's relationships with Venus, Brandy, and Rick. After an argument with Brandy, he reconciles with Venus, agreeing to let her play in the upcoming Bank of the West Classic in Oakland, California. Before the tournament, the family meets with a Nike executive who offers them a major sponsorship deal worth $3 million. Rick urges them to accept, but the family collectively agrees to decline, believing that once Venus begins to play, she will attract more lucrative offers. Venus initially struggles in her first professional match against Shawn Stafford, but eventually triumphs. She comes in as a heavy underdog in her next match against top-seeded Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. Venus takes the first set and leads in the second before Vicario takes an extended bathroom break, an apparent act of gamesmanship. Sanchez Vicario recovers to win the second set and the match. Richard and Brandy comfort a dejected Venus, telling her to be proud. As the family leaves the stadium, a large crowd of supporters is waiting to cheer her on, and Rick tells Richard that several major shoe companies are anxious to meet with Venus. An epilogue reveals that 9 months later, at the age of 15, Venus would sign a contract with Reebok for $12 million, equivalent to $22 million in 2021. She would go on to win Wimbledon 5 times and become the first African-American woman to be ranked #1 in the world during the Open era. Serena, who joined Venus as a professional 2 years later, would become a 23-time Grand Slam champion and considered by many to be the greatest female player in tennis history. And while Richard Williams may no longer be in the spotlight, his legacy lives on. His story continues to inspire people all over the world to chase their dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. His unwavering belief in his daughters and his dedication to their success will always be remembered as a shining example of what can be accomplished through hard work and determination. So the next time you feel like giving up on your dreams, remember Richard Williams and his daughters Serena and Venus. Remember that anything is possible if you believe in yourself and are willing to put in the work. And remember that sometimes the most unlikely people can achieve greatness. Thanks for watching this inspiring story of Richard Williams. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to our channel.